Hey everybody, how's it going? This is your boy B McCoy, right here just to update you about life with this topic. It's time for you to move. Okay, a lot of people inbox me about moving because I moved from Birmingham, Alabama to Houston, Texas, from Houston, Texas to Washington, D.C. And when I moved, I made it look easy. But that's what you're supposed to do. You should make stuff look easy. So we're going to just hit some points, just some pointers for people that want to move, need to move in 2000 in whatever year you're watching this. Okay, one, do not tell people you want to move or that you're about to move. Because I remember when I told people that I was going to move, they denied me. They tried to talk me out of it. They told me how bad things were. People started sending me articles about how bad the place I was moving, how bad Houston was, how bad DC was within the week that I told them that I was going to move. I told nobody I was going to move up until maybe 2 weeks before I moved. I told family maybe like a month before I moved, but I was planning for an entire year secretly about my move. So please keep it secret because a lot of people don't even make it past this stage because they just talk too much. Shut your mouth. Talk to God. Talk to your feet at night or something. Talk to, I don't know. Just don't talk to the people that want to discourage you from moving because some people are okay with going to Applebee's every week, the same Applebee's, and the same 2 for $20 every week. They're okay with doing that. Like, let them be okay with that. But, you know, if you want to move forward. Secondly, do your research. Oh, not do your research. Secondly, make sure that you actually want to move. Because sometimes there are just opportunities that's not there in your city, and you just decide to just get up and leave. Or it's an ex-boyfriend, ex-girlfriend, ex-husband, ex-wife, ex-whatever that you're trying to run away from. And it may not be a move that's the best thing for you. You may just need to change jobs or change your routine. You know, just get out of that, because many times there are things in your city that are okay and that are great, but you've just never experienced them. So you think that your city is horrible when it's really not. So make sure that moving is the best thing for you, because it's not for everybody, and there's a lot that goes into it. Thirdly, do your research. And doing your research, the first thing I did was look on the cities that I wanted to move to. I had like a list of 5 cities. And I looked at the relocation information on government websites. A lot of those websites have information about housing, about taxes, about any type of assistance that you may need, any type of financial assistance. So you need to go to the government websites and look for the relocation tab, just whatever on the website. Many times it's under the mayor's office. So you just go there and look for that main information and doing your research. Also, make sure that when you're doing your research that you're talking to people on Facebook. One of the things that I did on Facebook is I started adding people, and I created an entirely separate Facebook account for people that I wanted to talk to in DC. So I included my family and I included people that I only wanted to talk to in DC, because my Facebook page for Birmingham and Houston was just full and it was just too much going on. So I had to create a completely separate private page for people in DC. So I started networking with people on Facebook, just learning about the cities, kind of like talking to people about like where's the best place to live, where's the best place to go, where's the best place that has like decent rent but isn't too ashy. You know, some of these cities are kind of ashy. So I started really looking on Facebook and started talking to people, started utilizing Facebook for what it's meant to be, a really good communication tool to really network and not just post silly photos and cat fight videos. And also, one of the main things that I did was I got organized. That's another thing. So one of the things I did was create an email folder. In the email folder, it was called DC Relocation. Also, when I was moving to Houston, I made a folder in my email account called, I think, Houston Move. So anything that I researched online, I would send it to myself and then move it to that relocation folder. It could be jobs, it could be information about schools in the area, information about churches in the area, information about apartments in the area. I will put everything in that folder so I can go back to it, because bookmarking stuff is kind of hard to do that. But it's easy to send it to your email account so you can have it later and you'll be able to search through it when you go back and look for it. In getting organized, one of the things I did as well was contact all of my friends that lived in the area and got information from them. That's what I used my other Facebook account for. Many people that I already knew, I got in contact with them in the area. So in getting organized, one of the next things that you can do is expand your network. Look at the local organizations that pertain to your area of your profession, and also your hobbies and things like that. Just look at those local people and talk to those people in those groups. If you are part of a fraternity or sorority, start talking in those groups and trying to find the local chapters of those different organizations and join them. Become a part of them online first before you make the move. Say, I'm thinking about moving, send them a message or something. Yeah, and just tell me a little bit more information about whatever. You may build a lot of relationships and friendships before you even make that move. The next thing, trying to find a job. One of the things I did is that I looked for a job, and in building relationships before you get here, you could possibly use somebody's address to put on job applications, because like in DC, they don't really like people from out of town to apply for a lot of jobs here, because the process is so long. Like where I work now, like it just takes a long time to get hired in a lot of these places, because it's like a lot of government, a lot of security clearances, so they don't even want to deal with you because of all of the clearances that they have to go through. So look at other people, like research other people in the area, and look for family and friends that already live in the area online, and try to use their address to put on your applications. So yeah, that's another thing. But one of the things that happened to me is that I actually got jobs or got opportunities before I made both of these moves, but that was mainly because I had a side hustle. And that's another thing. Always, you can use your side hustle as a way to get a quick job that can get you in the door. With your current jobs, you can ask for a transfer, but many times they don't want you to transfer. If you're a good employee, or if you're a bad employee, they'll be like, why are you ask yourself asking about transferring when you're a horrible human being? And then, what's another thing? One of the main things that people ask me about is housing. You really have to look at the cost of living, because the cost of living in Birmingham was completely different from Houston. The cost of living in Houston was completely different from DC. Completely different. So you really have to judge what you'll need to make to pay these bills and for transportation, because it's a lot to live in DC. Like, even if rent is low, just the cost, like dealing with networking events, going to organization meetings, going to these little happy hour events to get to know people, riding the metro, even if you have a car, paying for parking tickets, $275, $500, that stuff adds up, and it stacks up so much that you'll just be like, I'm making $90,000 a year, but I'm still living paycheck to paycheck. Like, that's what happens here. So you have to make sure that your job and your income will line up with that. But many times it will. Like, most of the time it will. You'll find somebody if you just look in the right place. Now, for housing, one of the main things that that I did was really network with people I already knew in the area. One way that I got my foot in the door in Houston was I applied for graduate school. Graduate school allowed me to have the extra funds to look for a place to stay. And I did something that a lot of people aren't willing to do. I stayed on campus my first year in Houston. I was there for 5 years. I stayed on campus that first year so I could save money and not have to worry about looking for somewhere to stay, because everything was right there. All my bills were paid, and I got a job and I could pay them. So don't knock campus housing if you're trying to make a swift move or some kind of change in your life. Look at going back to school. Um, Also with housing, I looked at past friends, and I ended up staying with someone I knew from like a long time ago that moved to the city I was moving to. So that's another big thing. A big thing is networking, real networking, not like this fake networking that people do. Real networking as far as like getting to know people and being transparent with what you want and what you want, what you can offer them and what they can offer you. You know, it's an equal exchange. Networking really doesn't have to do with you just taking. It has to be, you know, an equal type situation. That's really what happened with me, and I think that that can really push you forward if you're trying to move this year. Don't let people stop you from moving. Don't let people discourage you from moving. It's your time to make the move. Do not be afraid. Do not be ashamed of thinking outside of the box and moving if your mama and them are from that city and they don't want you to move. Look, they're living their life. You need to live your life. You need to move. If you feel like moving, God will put everything together. Like when I said I was moving, God just started putting stuff together. Like every time I made one step, another door opened. Like every single time. Like I just took, like, I was ready to move, and my project that I was working on in Houston ended for the city. It just ended, and I was like, okay, well, time for me to move. Now I had enough money to make the move. Now it wasn't easy when I first moved to Houston, or when I first moved to DC, but I still came out on top. Oh, excuse me. So yeah, make that move, and don't be afraid. Make sure to do this. Make sure not to tell people. Make sure to know that moving is the right thing for you. Make sure to do your research. Make sure to get organized. Those are the main things that you need to do. If you do those things, I'm telling you, you will be successful. And also make sure to network the right way. Not holding back on asking questions. Ask as many questions as possible, and I'm telling you, your move will be, well, it'll be great, and it'll be one of the best decisions that you've ever made in your life. Hopefully this was helpful. I just scratched the surface. If you have any questions, you can hit me up online. So go to beatmccoy.com, and you can just send me a message. There's, I think, a contact me thing, and on Facebook you can hit me up also. Facebook/BMcCoy online, and I'll hit you back up, or I'll post this video and you can comment on it. So yeah, that was it. Make sure to subscribe and everything, and share this video. Bye.